council meeting, full council meeting. Welcome everybody. Firstly, I'll call for apologies, and looking around, we won't have any, except I do have that of the Chief Executive Officer, who is on annual leave at the moment, Mr. Rob Williams. So we'll move straight away to item number 1, which is confirmation of council minutes held on the 20th of July. Before I ask for a mover or seconder, are there any amendments, please? Moves Councillor Ufhagen. Seconder, Councillor Kraswaski. All in favour?
Aye.
Any matters arising, discussion therein? Councillor Kraswaski.
Yeah, thank you. On page 1/3, under matters arising, item 2, can I please have an update as regards to the stormwater or wastewater thing?
Would be most objective. I can't give you an update, can anybody? Mr. Benhennett?
No.
And our CEO's not here. And our
Mr.
deputy...
Anderson should be here very soon.
Okay, as soon as Mr. Anderson's here, I'll come back to it.
It does have implications or possible ramifications for the airport, so I'm quite keen to know. Thank you.
Okay, we'll raise that again. Councillor McCowie.
And just immediately under that, Mr. Chairman, this matter raised in relation to hospital upgrades being funded dependent on the sale of surplus land. Is there any movement on that? Are we going to investigate that further, or has anyone done anything?
I don't think it's this council's business to be investigating that, but I see Councillor Gathergood has your hand up.
I will be putting a report in probably at the next council meeting on Community Health Forum business, and do a report, and it will be included in that.
Okay, fine.
The report coming to council.
Councillor Ufhagen, had your hand up?
Yes, I'll be doing the same.
Oh, okay. All right, anything further, matters arising, discussion from those minutes? All in favour? Carried. Moving to item number 2, minutes of the TKMP committee held on the 4th of August. Please note any amendments to the minutes can be noted now, but the actual amendments should be made by the committee at their next meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder for the receipt of the minutes, please? Moved, Councillor Ufhagen.
So moved, and that recommendation 2032 be adopted.
And a seconder, please. Councillor Hickling.
Mr. Chairman?
Councillor McCowie.
I've got some suggested noting of amendments to be considered by TKMP at their next meeting. Page 2/11.
That's next, not.
My apologies.
Okay, is there any discussion before I put the motion to the vote, please? I would just like to add on page 2/2 for information for councillors, Waireki Tourist Park. Waireki Tourist Park from the 31st of October is the management and the control of the land has been handed to LINZ in Rotorua, Land Information New Zealand, in a 50% work in conjunction with Taupo District Council. So that's something for the new council to... so it's good for us because it's taken from the Ministry of Tourism to LINZ, so that's a step forward for us with Waireki Tourist Park. Any further discussions? Being none, all in favour?
Aye.
Carried. Now going to the TKMP. Secondly, the minutes held on the 18th of August, starting 2/10, going through to the green pages anyway, to 2/17. Welcome, Miss McLeod. A mover, please. Move.
Similarly, Mayor Rick, that these minutes be accepted, and that recommendations 2310 and 2313 be adopted.
Cool. Seconder, please. Councillor McCowie.
I've got some suggestions for...
Is that a seconding? I'm calling for a seconder at the moment.
If I may finish.
Yes.
I have some suggestions for consideration for amendment at the next meeting, and I'm happy to second on that basis.
Good. Seconded, Councillor McCowie. Councillor Hickling.
I was going to second the meeting.
Okay. We've got a seconder. Is there any discussion before I put the motion to the vote, please?
I have some amendments for consideration, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Page 2/11. The last paragraph above the recommendation 2310, and the last part of that sentence, I'm suggesting that it should read, as council had decided that the proposed council building would not go on the north domain and the active arts building would be removed once alternative accommodation was found. And to add this, and I made this explanation very clear at the time, to enable improved open space linkage between the Tongariro North Domain and Riverside Park. So if that could be noted for consideration. Also, please, on page 2/14, the last paragraph above the resolution 2314, members commented on the very successful evening, etc., where there had been a positive response to the removal of a proposed industrial type activity on the Tamatea Reserve. I'll repeat it again, where there had been a positive response to the removal of a proposed industrial type activity on the Tamatea Reserve.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councillor Welch.
I have to comment on that. There was never decided that there would be, had never been decided for sure that there would be an industrial type activity, namely a new water treatment plant at Tamatea.
That's why I said proposed.
Right.
Councillor Gathergood.
Oh, it's not in relation to that.
Okay,
but it's
yep.
in-
No, we'll just finish with this. Are you finished with your amendments, Councillor McKelvey?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Gathergood.
I just have a query on 2/15 and item 7 on that page, where it says it was agreed that no workshop be held on the 1st of September 2010, but I understand since then that a workshop has been set for the 1st of September.
Well, it's certainly not a council workshop. It must be a TKMP workshop, and I won't be at it. So this is a council meeting, but I will allow the chairperson of TKMP to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The reason for that was that there was a proposal that should this meeting go over a certain time this afternoon, we would continue tomorrow. It was agreed that there was to be a workshop, that I was to advise the committee members in due course of the date of the proposed workshop in due course, as it looked as though we could possibly be in here tomorrow, and it was the last opportunity for the person who was to do a presentation to be able to be present before he went overseas. We thought we'd take that opportunity just so that this information could then go forward to the incoming council.
Okay, fine. It's not compulsory.
No.
Okay, Councillor Ormsby.
Yeah, just a query. I think it's more of staff on page 2/14 when I was reading through the minutes. Taupo water treatment upgrade. The cost I see is 18.3 million over the next 3 years. Costs of water treatment plants in the district, are they district-wide or are they catchment orientated?
Mr. Mahina.
Catchment orientated.
Catchment orientated. That's. Thank you for answering that question. The next part is it's a resolution, and the resolution says by TKMP that council agrees. Well, can TKMP say that council can agree? Or is this a recommendation to council that this proceeds? Because that's a heck of a lot of money.
Well, as I understand...
Hang on, Mr. Mayor. And I know the delegation that has changed, which basically refers to things like as proposed in the long-term community council plan. So should this be a recommendation or is this a resolution? Because I'm a little confused where it says that council agrees in one, and then it says two, that council agrees. Can someone help me out here?
Well, excuse me, Councillor McCoy. As I understand it, Councillor Ormsby, TKMP can only make recommendations. So perhaps we should just consider it as a typo. It should not be resolved. It should be recommended, I would have thought.
I'm asking the staff if that's
Not on an $18.3 million water treatment, can they?
It's already in funds.
It's a resolution.
Delegation, as the council already pointed out, it's in the LTCCP.
Yep.
So council, TK is just committing council under its delegation to do something they've already resolved to do under the plan.
So a committee of 8 people can commit a committee of 11 people to an $18 million expenditure, is what Councillor Ormsby is pointing out.
Well, no, Mr. Mayor, what I was raising was to get clear, because if some people read that, because I know the delegation's changed. If I'm sitting in this chair in the next triangle, they might change completely different and go back to the old system.
One would hope so.
Because but I'm happy with that. I asked for an explanation.
Fine.
Someone's given it to me, and I'm happy with it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor McKelvey.
Yes, I think, Mr. Chairman, that possibly it's been overlooked that it should be that the TKMP committee agrees. And I suggest also that that could be an amendment in these minutes. I think it was always the intention, I was present throughout the whole meeting, it was always the intention that it was a TKMP project funded by TKMP and already, as Mr Morell has pointed out, already passed by Council to be funded through the LTCCP.
Is it necessary for more talk on this subject?
Just-
Mr Ormsby is happy with the explanations he's had, but I'm
Okay.
happy to allow you to
right.
continue, Mr Menhennett.
No,
Mr. Mayor, I just want
Thank
to,
you.
as Councillor McKelvey suggested, because it's their minutes, not ours or council's or the board. If that's what she's suggesting, it should go that TKMP, as per the long-term council
Yes.
community plan,
Yeah.
agrees to blah, blah, blah. And then that makes it a lot more clearer. And if I had saw that there straight away, I wouldn't have opened my mouth either.
Well,
More than welcome,
On this
sir.
topic.
yeah, Mr Chairman, as the seconder of that motion, and as Councillor Ufhagen would have to agree with it as well, but as the seconder I would agree that that's the way it should have been worded. It was an oversight and we apologise for that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're there now. Cool. Are there any more discussions before I put the motion to the vote? There being none, all in favour?
Aye.
Any matters arising, discussion therein? Fairly well covered. Okay, so carried. Moving to agenda item number 3, District Regulatory and Hearings Committee minutes of the 6th of August. The actual amendments should be made by the committee at their next meeting. Can I have a mover? So moved. Can I have a seconder, please?
Seconder with a very small potential amendment to be considered at their next meeting. Right at the bottom of the page, it's not poisoning of trees, it's poisoning of notable trees.
Now we have a seconder. Could we have any amendments, please? Which we can't do because the actual amendments will be done by the committee at the next meeting. So is there any discussion before I put the motion to the vote, which takes you through to page 3/11?
No, hang on. 3/5 first.
That's the 6th of August one, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, 6th of August.
The next one is
Apologies. It's only 2 pages. Any discussion before I put the motion to the vote? Being none, all in favour?
Aye.
So carried. Any matters arising, discussion? Okay, secondly, Regulatory Hearings Committee on the 16th of July.
Seconded.
Speaking to Councillor McKelvey, moved Councillor Ormsby. Any discussion before I put the motion to the vote? There being none, all in favour?
Aye.
Any matters arising, discussion therein? Being none, we will